Hey guys, it's Friday afternoon and I've been hiking out of the Knock since about early afternoon. I hung out there for a long time. We plan on getting over there about 8:30 and hiking at like 9. And because the place we were staying last night didn't have Wi-Fi, and I wanted to get stuff posted, I've been trying to get posted for a week. I stayed in town, or stayed at the Knock, where I had some Wi-Fi access, but it was really limited, it was really bad. So it literally took me over an hour a piece to get those videos loaded. So instead of leaving at 9, I actually got on a trail at like 2. So, and the interesting thing is that I have not seen another hiker coming at me or passing me or anything all day long. I've actually had the trail to myself, which is kind of nice. So I stopped here because the trail has turned from dirt to mud, and that's significant because there's supposed to be a water source right up here somewhere. And I've been hiking dry for about 45 minutes and I'm really getting kind of thirsty. So I was going to flip this camera around and kind of show you what it's like getting or coming up on water. So take a look at this. So you can see how the trail right here is muddy, and it's just because this mountain, the springs, it's just weeping this water and it's running down. So, and now I can actually hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Oh, there it is. Okay, take a look at this. All the water sources are a little different. Sometimes you just have like water running across there like that. But sometimes you get something like that right there. So you just put whatever container under there and filter it. And it's nice and cold and clean. Okay, so what you guys are looking at is Stokoa Gap, and because it's the weekend and it's a big gap, there's trail magic. So a Thru hiker named Hopeful and his wife, that's their rig with the trailer back there. That's where they're making hot dogs and beans and all that kind of stuff. And up here in these tents, they've got chairs to sit. They've got ice chests of drinks, and then lots and lots of cookies, candies, that kind of thing. And you know, you just gotta love these people who come out on a Saturday. He does this once a year. He's been doing it for 20 years, and it's really awesome. So anyway, Stokoa Gap, it's kind of a landmark for me. It is mile 150, so take a little pride in that. But came out of the Knock yesterday late, like 5.5 hours later than I planned. And it's a hard climb up to the shelter, which is Sassafras Mountain. And it was just one of those mountains, man, you just kept getting false summit after false summit. And it was really frustrating because it was a hard climb. And then today I've been a little frustrated because the group of 5 people that I was hiking with, we all kind of split up, and some folks stayed back, some people pushed on early because they left out of the Knock, you know, at 8:30 in the morning. They could push further than I could push, leaving at 2 o'clock. So, you know, I hiked all day yesterday by myself, woke up and hiked out of there solo, and I was really frustrated today because the hiking was much harder than I had anticipated. So my miles per hour were a lot lower. I wasn't covering the ground and really got depleted, and I was getting into that really dark, bad place. And sure enough, you know, right at the moment you're about to crater, you walk up on this Trail Magic, and you get a hot dog and a Coke, and things start turning around. You talk to some of these people who've done it before, and they're just so very encouraging. And right about when I was about to put my phone on airplane mode, which I do to save battery while I'm hiking, I get a text from the guys who are out in front of me saying, hey, you know, we're stopping at this place, you know, tomorrow night, are you in? And I'm like, yes, you know, all teary, you know, because it's like, oh my God, I really do have friends out here. It's great. But the issue, kind of twofold, is one, I got a lot of rough hiking in front of me. Here in 2 miles from here is a climb called Jacob's Ladder, and it's notoriously very, very difficult. It's not super long, but it is straight up, and it's gnarly and exposed, and is what I hear. And it's just a big pile of suck. And the other thing is that we got weather coming in. They're predicting rain starting any time. And then tomorrow is like tornadoes and 60-mile-an-hour winds and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I come from Oklahoma, which is land of tornadoes, but the difference is that in Oklahoma, you know, I'm in a house with a TV and a radar, and you can tell what street the tornado's coming down. And out here, regardless of that kind of stuff, you know, you're in an old growth timber forest, and 60-mile-an-hour winds is going to knock trees down. And that's where it gets really, really dangerous. So I am trying to push as far as I can tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to get into Fontana and hook up with these folks, and we're going to get off trail to some B&B that's supposed to be super cool. And then the day after that, which I think is Monday, hopefully the storm's pushed out, and that's going to be the first day of the Smokies. And climbing out of Fontana Dam up to the first shelter of the Smokies is supposed to be like the hardest day on the AT thus far. And it's just monster climb. I think you're going from like 1,700 feet at the dam up to like 6,000 feet or something. So you really need to, you know, be rested and hydrated and eat a lot, get a good night's sleep and all that. And so that's kind of the plan. And so I got to get going up Jacob's Ladder. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, Saturday, April 13th. It's about 7 o'clock, and I made it to Cody Gap. I was pushing hard to try to make it to a place called Carter's Shelter, which is about 4 miles from here. And I ran out of juice. And I was pushing hard to try to make it to the next shelter site. That's where the guys are that I'm gonna be getting a place in Fontana tomorrow. And don't know if we're gonna zero Monday or if we're gonna go for it Monday or what, but I was trying to get there to go into Fontana with them, which is about 7 miles. And I just couldn't get there, ran out of gas. It was getting too late, getting dark, and I really needed to set up. So normally when you're at a shelter, I've showed you what shelters look like. You know, there may be a dozen people in the shelter, and then maybe a dozen tents around the shelter. But at this little stealth campsite, which is really nice, it's got water down there, that's what that blue blaze on that tree means. I am the only one here. Which isn't, I could have kind of anticipated that because I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere, kind of halfway in between the two shelters. And a lot of people stealth camp, you know, within a half a mile or a mile of the shelter. So this is really camping out there completely by yourself. And I know I'm gonna rest good, I'm gonna have a good supper, but I am definitely gonna have to hang my food because if there are any bears in the area, I am the only target. So, you know, when you're at the shelter, you know, you've got like a 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 chance of being a target. And I haven't even seen a bear, and I haven't talked to anybody who's seen a bear yet. And I think it's just because there's so many people. And, you know, and it's early in the year and people are noisy. But that makes me think, since I'm by myself and I'm not going to be noisy, that I've really got to go through my stuff and get it hung up. So if the scent does bring one in, it's away from my tent. And, you know, anyway. So it's getting dark. I've got to eat. I've got to get going on a few chores. So I will talk to you guys.